Good dusk, key fetishists, and welcome to the rusty delights of TotalCults.com. I'm James Trick.
I'm Dr. Gogol.
And today we're talking about...
Star Wars has always been considered a big influence on Hollywood.
Yeah. I don't think anyone would argue Star Wars is a big influence.
And although there were a number of kind of Star Wars clones made very cheaply, considering how big a success it was, there were very, very few space adventures in a similar mold to Star Wars that aren't Star Wars.
Right.
So, for example, there's Battle Beyond the Stars.
Yes. I thought we were talking decent budget stuff here. Things like Battle Beyond the Stars are obviously significantly lower.
Yeah, my range is going to be between Star Wars and Battle Beyond the Stars. Battle Beyond the Stars, although it's Roger Corman, money was spent on it.
Right, yeah.
So things like Star
I think I paid about 75p to go and see it at the cinema.
Yeah, 75p for a cinema.
That's how much I paid.
But I'm referring to the budget that was spent on the production.
Rather than how much I paid.
They don't immediately take that money and then make a film with that.
Can they do it
while you're in the queue?
Can they wait for everybody to have queued up and paid their money, then take that money, go and make the film, come back?
I mean, they could. I think they could.
With modern technology, it must be possible.
If you're paying for a feature film, though, you'd have to wait at least an hour and a half.
What,
if they were going to shoot it in real time.
Oh, yeah, I suppose.
But then obviously, yeah.
I used to believe that they were shot in real time, and actually, that kind of it ties in with science fiction as well. So I'm not going to go too far off the rails.
Okay, remember science fiction. That's what.
Yeah, exactly. As a child, I thought what I wanted to be was an actor.
Yeah.
And the reason for that was Flash Gordon, which I saw maybe 4 times at the cinema. I was obsessed with Flash Gordon. I absolutely loved it. But the reason I wanted to be an actor was because I wanted to be Sam Jones in that,
right.
And I thought that would happen.
He was your acting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Standard to reach.
Yeah, well, no, not from.
You've probably already surpassed that. I would say.
Not in terms of ability necessarily, but I thought that the whole thing happened in real time, and I imagine that one day Sam Jones turns up at work, and they say, "Right, you're doing Flash Gordon today," and he turns up and he goes through the whole movie.
Yeah.
He's done by lunchtime. He's done his football and he's flown his hawk wings and he's snogged Dale Arden, and that's his day's work done. And I just thought, how amazing would that be if you turned up and you just did that, and that's it. And they've set the whole thing up for you, sort of like an adventure park. Yeah, and you know what's going to happen. I knew it was scripted. I wasn't stupid, but I knew it was scripted. But I thought he'd learn all his lines, turn up, and go through the whole thing like a play. Yeah. I guess, except it would all be there with special effects and stuff. And I thought that would be brilliant.
Yeah.
So that's why I wanted to be an actor. Right. And then when I worked out that wasn't the case, I didn't want to be an actor anymore. Anyway, back to you were talking about Battle Beyond the Stars and how much money was spent.
Right, well, so that's my kind of ballpark between Battle Beyond the Stars and Star Wars. So I'll give you... when I came to the decision, I wanted to watch a nice science fiction adventure with spaceships and laser swords and lasers and all kind of things. Didn't want to watch Star Wars. And there was nothing, either from my collection or even I could even think of. So Flash Gordon is there, but obviously you're not involved in that in the same way. There's an irony to that. You're supposed to enjoy. There is, believe me, there is.
No, there isn't.
Yes, there is.
No, it's
so it's a different experience.
Straight-faced.
Space Hunter, I'm going to say doesn't count because
you're discarding some of these on some very spurious grounds.
Because Space Hunter might as well be a post-apocalyptic film because it's all set on one planet. It's basically Mad Max. But there's a spaceship at the start. Right. So it's not a space opera, okay? So beyond that...
Star Chaser, The Legend of Orion.
Animated.
Space Hunter doesn't count because it was all on one planet. Yeah. Star Chaser doesn't count because it's animated.
Yeah.
Metal Storm?
Again, I mean...
It doesn't count because it's dog shit.
I just want, spaceships, space battles, a few different planets... ideally, some stormtrooper substitutes, someone in armour.
Cleavage?
I never say no. To that. So yes, if you've got some.
Because Star Wars veered away from cleavage. I think Star Wars felt cleavage was beneath it in some ways, and then the cleavage was very much embraced, and some would even say nuzzled by films such as Star Crash. Crash really took that cleavage and said, you know, what Star Wars didn't give you was the top areas of some breasts.
But then again, Return of the Jedi, they answered that back with the whole slave girl. And again, it's weird. As a child, at the age I was when Return of the Jedi was on, her being... those kind of emotions weren't even in my physical makeup at the point. And so I grew up with that, with her, that just being normal.
What,
and it's only...
for her to be in a bikini chained to a slug...
Yeah, and then looking now...
It didn't have a huge formative impact on you.
It wasn't a turning point for
it
me,
wasn't.
no.
You didn't
I think
end
I'm
up
still
just
too
in
young.
gold bikini all the time, you know, just entirely gold bikini sexual. You didn't end up... No. Didn't corrupt you in that way. Or Flash Gordon could take you in some even darker direction.
Yeah.
The sexuality in Flash Gordon is really weird.
Yes.
I can't remember what her name is. Princess...
I get mixed up with the one in Buck Rogers. Because there's a Princess Ardana or blah, blah, blah. Yeah, Banana-rama.
But that's all sort of all a bit bondagey, tortury, incesty,
Ballworms,
really.
Yeah.
It's sort of. I think she rather likes it, kind of. It's all a bit. Almost icky.
But
really.
I also think it's weird that Dale is so straight-laced.
Yes.
I still don't really see what Flash sees in her.
Right.
Because he just met her.
Yes.
She's a little bit annoying.
Yes.
And
then he meets the really hot, dirty, ballwormy princess.
Yeah.
And then he goes, no, actually, I want the one with the sensible haircut.
Yeah. And
it is a very sensible haircut, isn't it?
Too sensible, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, especially for, the fashions in Mongo at that time.
Exactly. It would have stood out. People were, what's she thinking? You know, Mongo, at the moment, we wear our hair very tightly.
I'm just wearing a pair of gold Speedos.
What's she thinking
of? And...
she looks like a supply secretary.
Or is it going to be that everyone looks and thinking, actually, that's right, and I'm going to look ridiculous in my Speedos?
Exactly. I think that every gold Speedo wearing man on Mongo has a duty not to have women looking entirely sensible all the time. And that's probably why they take so badly to her.
Yeah. Well, it's like when people turn up to a fancy dress party in normal dress.
Exactly.
It just makes everyone look ridiculous.
Yes.
So I think Ming should have...
But
keep the party going.
Why does Ming fancy her?
I know.
It's like, not only does Flash Gordon, as you rightly say, go, all right, I've met this irritating woman on a plane. Obviously, she's the love of my life now.
Yeah.
But then they go up there, and Ming, who's surrounded by apparently dirty princesses, some of whom he's related to, which is...
But he doesn't seem to care.
He doesn't seem to mind too much. He's merciless about such things. But all the same, if there's one dirty princess that close, you'd imagine that there's a whole slew of them around. And he says, no, supply secretary is the look with the sensible haircut and no real discerning character traits. That's what he seems to be looking for.
Yeah. So
baffling.
Fuck Dale. And a sensible haircut.
Actually, I take that back. Dale's arrival on Mongo, dressed as she is and the tensions it caused, were really just a precursor to the realisation, culturally, that there is more to being a successful woman on Mongo than just how dirty a princess you are. And had she actually married Ming, and therefore had his ear, she might have been able to exert some kind of influence and change some of the values on Mongo, essentially dictating what the criteria for being a successful woman are. That being professional and organised, and not how many parasitic invertebrae you can comfortably accommodate up your chuff. It was only the ill-timed arrival of Flash Gordon and his giant wang rocket in what is a spectacular overcompensatory display of homoerotic penetration that actually ceased what would have been a massive cultural and social revolution, shoehorning himself in as the heroic saviour role, when actually Dale was pretty hard at work at doing that herself.
So I'm at a loss, because curiously there was a lot of after post Star Wars, there was a lot of kind of serious science fiction. It seemed that things like Silent Running had more of an impact in terms of copycats, with things like, we talked about Saturn 3, Black Hole, Star Trek films, all very slow.
Black Hole's a weird little puppy.
Yeah.
Black Hole is the weirdest puppy in the pound. I mean, whoever in Disney walked in and said, I've got a great idea. It's basically a family movie, it's a space adventure, and then at the end, everyone, good and bad, gets sucked into hell, where we're confronted with images of men and machines blurring and twisting together, and then we've got a vague shot of a bright light that might imply that some of them reach some kind of spiritual salvation. roll credits.
Yes.
And I imagine that, I don't know what strength pot was available in in that particular phase of history, but for someone to just go in, pitch it and go, you've sold us, man. You've absolutely sold us. As long as there's opportunity for action figures before the extended sequence that will disturb and terrify an entire generation, we're in.
Yeah. Because this may still sound unclear as to what I'm looking for, because we've just named a slew of science fiction films, but none of them meet my criteria.
Hit your mark.
I want to sit down and watch a Starfighter versus Starfighter space battle.
Last Starfighter?
An exciting, fast-paced one that isn't Star Wars.
Last Starfighter?
Okay, one other film.
Last Starfighter?
Yeah, as well as that.
Hang on.
No, I will come back to that. I'm not brushing over that. But can you think of
that was my brainstorm. I'm stuck on that.
Again, Last Starfighter is an inch away from being it.
Right, okay.
Right? Not seen it recently, I suspect.
Probably hasn't dated too well.
It doesn't hold up.
No.
And it won't be miniature.
So hang on, you want spaceships fighting one another?
There isn't any.
Battlestar Galactica?
Well, again, we talked about this. There's TV, Buck Rogers, Battlestar Galactica, but there's less than you'd think.
Yes, there is.
Considering that Star Wars seems to be...
Until you raise the point, I'd assume that there were lots.
Look what it's done to cinema. Everything's copying it. It has done, but in terms of possibly structure, marketing, stuff like that, but not actually the film itself.
There will be, I'm sure, quite a few Trek fans at the moment bounding around. Although they do bound. But I imagine that they'll be possibly saying, obviously Trek predates Star Wars.
Yes.
But any given Trek movie would fulfil your criteria, and
the Star Trek films, I would say more towards kind of the silent running black hole thing, and that they're slow. It's not small, zippy about, exciting. It's big ships, manoeuvres, stuff like that. I do enjoy them, but if I'm going for something like Star Wars, I would say the very thing about Star Trek is it's not Star Wars. It's a different beast. I either want to watch a Star Trek film or I want to watch a Star Wars film. But I do think the Star Crash. I love Star Crash, even though it's not good.
Yes.
It's the kind of film that I wish that had just a little bit more money behind it. Not even to change the effects. I like it the way it is. Just a little bit more quality control to get it moving, because I find it surprisingly dull at places. It just grinds to a halt while people with blonde wigs or something just chat. But there's loads of great stuff in it. I love the costume designs. I love, you get to see Hasselhoff fight a stop motion robot.
He does that with
the big fisted
sort of
lightsaber,
isn't it? But they're not allowed to call it
the
that.
space fist.
I don't remember the space fist.
The bad guy's Death Star is a giant fist. When it goes into battle mode, opens up and fires shit out. It's wondrous.
That sounds
amazing.
That sounds pretty cool. I haven't actually seen it for a very long time. It's always one that I remember very fondly, largely because of Stellar Star.
Yeah.
I always really dug it. Really liked it an awful lot.
So I want more Star Crashes, just with a bit more money.
So if there's a message to be taken from tonight's show, it's that Dr. Gogol wants space adventures. Yes. He wants them here and he wants them now.
Oh, hello. In today's episode, we've learnt a lot of important lessons. Like, lion-o's reproductive organs are very small, while staff is hung like Popeye's forearm. But the most important lesson is to like our video, subscribe to our channel, and leave your thoughts in the comment sections below. And, if you'd like more of us, visit our website, totalcult.com, where you can access a backlog of written articles and reviews, as well as purchasing our book, How to Love Movies You Probably Shouldn't, which is also available from all major online retailers in both ebook and physical form. Have a good dusk, everyone.